YouTube, what is up with y'all today? This is Neil here with the Ecom-Sensei. I'm currently down here in my sneaker cave. This is where you go for everything e-com, digital marketing as it relates to e-commerce. Now that's via your own website, which I like specifically because you have more control and you get more data, but also to a third marketplace, maybe like an Etsy or eBay. I specifically deal more so with the Etsy side because it's still a little bit easier in 2022 to do an Etsy shop. But overall, my whole thing is just e-commerce as it relates to your own website. And that's what I do. I get customers, I get traffic, and make those customers convert from the top of the funnel to the bottom of the funnel. That's my favorite thing. And also too, running the ads too. So it's like two divisions. So yeah. But I've also just, good news, revived my store as well. I hit a rough patch. Things was a little out of control. I got a few stats as well as far as my store go anyway. So I'll post those a little bit here and there. But after reviving my store for sure in September, I didn't scale it as much as I wanted to. I still want to finish as far as scaling it, but it's more so like figuring things out. I've learned so much more out of my digital marketing career in the past 3 weeks. Hardcore testing, you know, and the main things that it's really come down to for me is the actual creative and the offer as well. So, yeah, so my thing with this though, I just want to give a little tip. I should have brought down my marketing books too. I should have brought down a marketing book or two, but I guess I can paste that stuff up here. Now, this is as it pertains to Facebook and the algorithm and what happens when you first run an ad on Facebook, or that first creative as far as the processes that it go through. Now, this is what all from my experience, right? This is from all my experience. It's not some made up stuff or some wild theory. This is just what I've been through. So, and I'm gonna also post the ad graphic here, or the graphic. When you first launch an ad, now this is as it pertains to a winning ad and a failing ad. And I believe this visual would definitely help a lot of people. It definitely helped me. I prefer visual learning specifically, but that's another story. So the first wave, I'm gonna just layer it up like an ocean. And we just got these different layers, almost kind of like a lasagna in a way. The first layer, I call it heavy purchases. And that's high quality traffic buyers. These are people that's just going to buy, in most cases, that day. Sometimes they might buy a few days later or even that next week. But still, they're going to buy. Now, this is who Facebook serves your ad to first, like at the top. You could just think of it as like kind of like going fishing in a way. And you just, you know, just like how you throw that, I think they call it a tackle or a catch, but you throw the bait out there and then, you know, before it sinks to the bottom, you're going to get, like, at least as far as ads go in this example, you're going to get the top traffic, high quality traffic. This is what everybody wants. This is what everybody raves about on Facebook, and you can include IG since that's the same thing as well. This is what everybody clamors to. This is why we're doing this, right? Because we're trying to get those top elite buyers, right? Second level is light purchases. So this is where we go to mid quality traffic. Now with the mid quality traffic, you're going to get people that's, and I want to also describe the behavior of this stuff on your site. The high traffic people are going to be purchasing, obviously, right? We like this item. We like it. Boom, boom, boom. The site looks believable. The site looks for real. I can trust this website with my credit card. I can put in, you know, I can make a purchase, long story short. Everything checks out. Mid quality traffic, these people are, they purchase, but they're a little less frequent on the site. So like they'll appear, and the way you would see this would be, I also check my sessions as well, provided if I didn't do any other testing for the day. If I just let my winning traffic run, my winning ad creative run, I also check the sessions. So around about like 100 sessions, at least for me in my business, when things are starting off, I already get a purchase within those first 100 sessions. Now, what this tells you, if you just are running your ad creative, your winning ad creative, or the one you're just starting out with. I wouldn't try to test with too much, just so you can kind of decipher what's what if you want to know the behavior of the customers visiting your site. I would just say maybe you might get a purchase within the first 100 sessions. That might be a high quality working good ad that works, right? People call this ad fatigue as well eventually. When you're dipping into the mid-quality traffic, you're still going to get sessions, but it might take a little bit longer to get a purchase because the quality of the traffic went down. More people are seeing the ad, so people that was thinking about it might be seeing it now or something like that, where they might be like, oh, okay, I'll do it. You know, the site looks believable, I can trust it. So that's the mid-quality traffic buyers. And this is not really talked about that much on marketing YouTube, rather, or Facebook YouTube. I don't see any other digital marketers talking about quality traffic all like that. You know, it's typical tactic stuff, but I think once you really follow this proven method, to me at least, when you're measuring your sessions and you're measuring the purchases, you will know what kind of traffic you're getting, and you will know when to kill an ad quicker too, before you even look at the data, you know, inside of the Facebook ads manager, because you definitely have to look at that to make sure, just to evaluate things to see what happened, because some people can add the cart and, you know, and never complete the purchase, right? So that will also somewhat fall in line with the mid or middle quality light traffic. These people are still making purchases. We haven't hit the bottom of the swamp yet, right? So the ad is slowly making its way down, if we could follow my graphic right here. And as the ad makes its way down to the bottom of the tank, or the bottom of the fish tank, or the bottom of the ocean, about to hit the sea floor, you hit people that just don't purchase at all. Now, if the ad doesn't convey what you're trying to sell clearly, or it just doesn't resonate with the people that you're advertising to, it's going to immediately go from the high quality straight to the bottom. And that's happened to me. It happens to everybody. There's no anybody that actually does this either for an agency or for themselves via leads or e-commerce, especially. Because I believe it's harder to make somebody buy something from a website versus just signing your email and, you know, and just adding yourself to an email list for maybe lead gen. Now, I do believe as far as lead gen, as far as quality traffic too, I do believe that plays a certain factor too. But as far as e-commerce, I think that's a little bit more competitive because you're literally asking for people money right there on the spot. So when you hit the bottom last layer, the low quality traffic, it's going to be so obvious. This is where most people run into the problem at. They either had a mediocre ad that worked for a moment and then it hit the bottom, or they just had like an ad that just didn't work at all and it finally hits the bottom kind of quick. And people blame Facebook for this. People see the ad, you're advertising to real humans. So what you will see is a lot of sessions on your website. If you're used to getting the first 100 sessions on your website, or the first 100 visits on your website, somebody usually purchased something. Maybe 2 or 3 purchases might happen. Once it finally hits the bottom, you might get like 300, 400, 500 purchases. 300, 400, 500 sessions with no purchases. Maybe 1 purchase. That lets you know that that ad either is experiencing ad fatigue in most cases, or just sank to the bottom and hit the worst traffic. Facebook is still going to give you traffic because you're spending money. They want the money since they get paid off impressions. So it's best to figure these patterns out. This is how you would know in the 24 to roughly almost a 48-hour period if an ad is working for you or not. Now, If you're split testing the ad, you would have to go to the business manager in Facebook to see which one has racked up the conversions or the clicks or the most clicks, or which one has got you the most add to carts or initiate checkouts but no purchase yet. So it might still be some kind of work on that end, either the website, or it might be one more doubt that the customers might have in the ad that you're not talking about. At least from my experience, that's what I've seen. I always say test, test, test. There's really no magic tactic around it. Ultimately, it's going to come down to testing the creative and actually measuring the patterns you see on your website. So before I leave here, I know it was kind of long-winded, but I just want to just real quick go over it one more time. So on a successful campaign, you're going to get an ad that lingers in the heavy purchase area, which is at the top with the high quality traffic, and it kind of submerges to the mid quality traffic buyers. I just recently had an ad do that. I just made $7K revenue on my own website, like doing that. It was literally, my ad was like floating up and down. It didn't hit rock bottom yet, right? Eventually it did, because all ads do, right? We can't time ad fatigue. So that, I would call that a good ad or a decent ad. It floats, it's in the high quality traffic range, and then it goes back up. Well, high quality traffic range, then sometimes it dips a little bit to the mid quality traffic. Long as people is buying, you will notice. So eventually, a few months might pass of that successful ad. If I kept that ad running, right, eventually it's going to die off and ad fatigue and hit the bottom, the bottom of the bottom layer with the low quality traffic. And what happened is, if I'm spending $100 a day and I usually get 3 to 5 purchases in the first 100 sessions or 100 visits of my website, eventually it's going to be like maybe like 400 sessions, 300 to 400 sessions, possibly, just patterns off my website that I've measured. It differs depending on your niche or whatever, what you're selling. Because I don't want everybody to have this specific rubric. It might take, if you're selling a higher end item, it might be less, it might take longer or something like that. But as far as it pertains to my website, 300 to 400 sessions will happen and maybe 1 or 2 purchases. That's a problem. That's a problem. So that's an ad problem. That's a traffic problem specifically, which is an ad problem ultimately, because people are starting to get tired of seeing the same ad, or you need to do something else, or do a slight tweak, or test more things, test offers. And of course, lastly, if the ad is just terrible, it will sink to the bottom immediately. Now, it depends on how long you've been running Facebook traffic to actually pick these things up. Do you actually measure and actually look at your website sessions or visits, and how long it takes someone to purchase usually? Usually you get a feel of it once you have it going for a while. You start studying the patterns even down to the days. Like Monday is not my biggest sales day specifically. Friday, Saturday, or in the evening is usually when things get vibrant for me, or a lot of sales come through. Even in the morning, to a certain degree, sales work for me. During the afternoon, somewhat of the sales come through, but it's everybody lunch break. They're probably at work, they're probably on break looking at the site, at my site. And yeah, study the patterns. Yeah, a good healthy amount of purchases come through at night. But this one ad that I had ran was so bad that I didn't even get any purchases in the evening. But by that time, that ad was so bad, it probably hit the bottom low quality portion of the traffic layer that I have presented here. So now when it first started out in the morning around 8 a.m. to about like 11 a.m. I got purchases. So I must have been still in that high quality layer before it sank to the bottom and eventually hit the mid quality, and then no one really purchased, and then eventually hit the low quality. So this is one of those things you have to look out for, patterns in the traffic, patterns on the website. Rate, comment, and subscribe. I hope I helped you today. This is Ecom-Sensei. This is Neil, and I'm out.